Well, that was a pretty tough contest.
Yeah, it was. It was from the very start. I mean, it was, we sort of expected, Fremantle have been in good form, and they're a strong contested team, both in air and ground, and that's what it turned out to be. Both teams were cracking in, and it was hard to get and keep field position, hard to score, and she was a genuine arm wrestle. And to our guys' credit, they just plugged away and found a way in the end.
What does that mean to win a game like that? 'Cause it's such a low-scoring contest, especially in the first half. But you said it was a grind and a real fight.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just what you've got to do. I think previously, sort of people get frustrated if we're not moving the ball, and unfortunately, the way, as I've said a number of times in these conferences, there's the games that just throw up different challenges or different situations, and the ability to adapt to that and just, as I said, just hang into the arm wrestle and accept what the game was and find a way. That was the pleasing part tonight, is we didn't sort of try and recover our position based on trying to just pull something out from a ball movement viewpoint. It was more, just hang in the contest, get field position, compete ahead of the ball and create opportunities, and we were able to create a few more and take a few more than Fremantle, which got us the result.
Don, was that as good as you've seen Riley O'Brien play? Just that bullocking...
Yeah, well, he was outstanding tonight. I mean, he's come in and he's now a 7-game player. So, and look, it's well known the pre-season he had, and he's sort of been looking for an opportunity. And unfortunately, when Sam gets injured, for Sam, but it presents the opportunity for Riley, and he's grabbed it, and he's just continuing to blossom and get better week in, week out. And tonight sort of suited him as well. It was a real physical game, and he's a ruckman that likes getting his hands dirty after the ruck contest. So, really pleasing with the progress he's making.
Is that his best game for you guys?
I would have thought so, yeah. But, I mean, again, without singling out Riley, I mean, Riley would be the first one to say that, he's working with a group of midfielders who work pretty hard around there as well. So he's part of a collective group. And, I thought, again, just the contribution we got from everyone tonight was really even. And, when we do that and we get a weighted numbers type performance, it helps us get a result.
You were down in the contest after the first quarter. Was that a point of emphasis going into the second term?
Yeah, look, we knew that, it ebbs and flows a little bit, and early I thought we were just a little bit off in that space, but to the guys' credit, they rebounded really strongly in the second quarter. I don't think we really got value from our domination, if you like, from a contested ball number in the second quarter, but that's just the way the game panned out. But, it was good response in the second quarter.
And with the low scoring, especially in that second term in the first half in general, Don, is that just the way the game's been played, or is there an issue with... does there need to be another rule change, or is it just how coaches have adapted to it?
I think that's just the way that game panned out. I don't think you'll see that every week. It was just the nature of two teams that were, putting enormous pressure on around the ball and forcing teams into error or not having any space with the ball, either ahead of the ball or at the ball. So, I think we'd kicked 1 goal 9, I think, at half time to 2 goals or whatever. It was just the nature of the game. I don't think you're going to see it every week. I think it was just an unusual one out of the box, maybe.
And you're in the 8 for the first time all year now, ahead of the win. Ross led you at 4-3. How do you feel like you're placed now after a stuttering start? Well,
we're placed with a lot of other teams in that sort of mid-bracket. I don't think the competition has really truly settled. I mean, you're seeing that with the results this weekend. So we acknowledge that we're in a tight and a tough competition, and we get another big challenge next week. Obviously, Showdown coming up on Saturday night. Both teams are 4-3, and the opportunity to go to 5-3 is a pretty big prize to play for. So we've recovered our position, and we're playing better. We're playing more consistent. We're playing in the space we need to play and to win games of footy, and that's been the pleasing part.
Which is that contest stuff, I guess.
Yeah, and we're defending the game really well. I mean, tonight I thought our backs were, as a group, were outstanding. Our backs' ability to absorb, the entries they did. There was 50 entries, and we conceded 5 goals. And some of that's through their acts, but it's also through some of the support they're getting from the mids. But that's when we play our best footy, is when all the areas and all the lines are functioning and working really hard. And that was what the game required tonight. And to Freo's credit, they brought exactly the same thing. So it's a genuine arm wrestle all the way to the end, really.
It'll be tough going to Showdown when you've got Ryder and Lysette as their ruckman. I guess after what Riley did tonight, with you having Sam Jacobs, you'd be a lot more confident that he could do a job for you there. Yeah, well, we've been confident with Riley since we brought him into the team, because you got to remember, he's got 3 years as a SANFL ruckman, and you learned his craft, and he's built a strong body, and he's worked on his conditioning, which has been well recognised through the off season. So he knows he can play big minutes. For him, it was just the opportunity, and that's what he's now getting. So he gets another great challenge next week. Those 2 ruckmen are both well regarded and high quality ruckmen. So another opportunity for him to move his career forward.
How hard was it to get messages out tonight, given it was low scoring?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I know I was down on the bench there in the second quarter. I don't think we could get a rotation for the first 8 or 9 minutes. So, the game was sort of just ebbing and flowing between the arcs, and that was why probably one benefit of being down there is you're able to send some messages out with guys, whether it be something for the forwards or the mids or the backs. So, but yeah, the low scoring. Obviously, when there's 3 goals and a half, your runner's not doing an awful lot, is he? Makes it a pretty easy night for him, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Well, does that give you as much satisfaction winning, I guess, ugly for want of the term, as opposed to the shootouts which have historically been good at?
I think it's more, probably just more the fact that we just won the way we had to tonight. I think it was more we were prepared just to play in that space, and that's what the game requires at times. I mean, certainly when you get towards finals footy, and I expect next week it'll be 2 teams going at it, and you look for your opportunities. I think we probably grabbed a little window in the third quarter and kicked 3 goals quickly, and that turned out to be enough. But it was always going to be one of those games where you're going to get a little window of opportunity, and whether you could take it fully and maximise it. But that's just what the game threw up tonight.
There's a few nervous moments. Sorry, you go, Steve.
I was just going to ask about the 50-metre penalty that Murphy got for throwing a bit of turf. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen one with a mouthguard thrown. I think the general rule, don't quote me on this, but I thought the general rule is you're not allowed to, you can pretend to throw something, but you can't actually physically throw anything. So if you're throwing grass or you're throwing a mouthguard or something at someone, that's what I imagine the free kick was for, or the 50 was for.
Brodie Smith back to his very best again tonight, just that the ground that he's covering is long king. How important is he for your team being in this revival?
Yeah, well, he's obviously a high-quality player, and we clearly missed him last year and he played the 2 games. So he comes back in and gives us that bounce off the half-back line. And he's a damaging player because he's a guy who can obviously penetrate, he can carry the ball. And tonight, again, he did some really nice things for us. So, he was good.
It's probably tough considering you just gave your backline a bit of a rap, but obviously Luke Brown played yesterday in the sample his first game of the season back from that injury. Is he a chance to come back next week against Port Adelaide?
Yeah, we just got to assess how he's pulled up. He was on some managed minutes last week, on Friday night. He's generally a guy that holds his fitness pretty well, so he's pulled up really well, which is great. Obviously you come in with your first game off and you get exposed to the bangs and the bumps of playing footy, so he's pulled up really well. So we'll just assess where he's at and see what's best for his short and medium and long term, in terms of whether he needs another run or 2 to get himself ready for AFL or where he's at. So we'll deal with that during the week.
JJ, a question there, bring him into the side, or are you so happy with what Elliot Hippenberg I thought was pretty good again tonight, obviously, and Riley carrying the ruck? Yeah, and that's an ongoing conversation, in terms of from a match committee viewpoint as to what's the best blend and balance. And, I think as you saw again tonight, Elliot did some nice things. And, Josh has continued to work on his game back at sample level. So, we'll assess that during the week.
A physically taxing game tonight. Did you pull up all right injury-wise? Yeah,
injury-wise, fine. Just normal bumps and bruises. And at this stage, there's nothing which I've been told is going to cause us any issues. So, thankfully, we've got ourselves a clean bill of health and get ready for next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good on you.